Prime Minister Narendra Modi outlining his vision of growth through inclusivity through growth, had said the foundation of his government's development policy is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. The Prime Minister posed the question, is right growth possible without inclusion? Can inclusion be thought of without growth? The Prime Minister observed that the gist of his experiences of more than 20 years as head of government is that without inclusion, real growth is not possible. And without growth, the goal of inclusion too cannot be accomplished. That is why, he added, his government has adopted the way of growth through inclusivity and tried for inclusion of every citizen. Mr. Modi said the speed and scale of inclusion in the last 9 years has been unprecedented in the world. Illustrating these points, the Prime Minister listed measures like providing free gas connections to more than 9.5 crore women, building more than 11 crore toilets for the poor, opening of more than 45 crore Jan Dhan accounts, building and giving ownership of 3 crore houses to the poor. He explained that by ensuring free treatment of up to rupees 5 lakh for 50 crore people under Ayushman Bharat scheme, more than 3.5 crore patients have availed free treatment in the last 4 years. Inclusion, the Prime Minister observed, was focused, but this led to increased demand and much better growth and opportunities as almost 1/3 population of India came in the ambit of quality healthcare. Ayushman Bharat has transformed the healthcare sector in India, he said. Mr. Modi has described the strides in the healthcare infrastructure before 2014. The average in our country was that 50 medical colleges were built in 10 years, whereas in the last 8 years, 209 new medical colleges have been built in India, more than 4 times than before. Furthermore, there has been an increase of 75% in undergraduate medical seats in India in the last 8 years. Now, the number of annual total medical seats has almost doubled in India. The Prime Minister said, through these figures, we can see the impact of an inclusivity scheme on the growth of the sector. Prime Minister Modi has said, through 5 lakh Common Service Centres, Unified Payments Interface, UPI, and PM Swanidhi scheme for street vendors, the ambit of inclusion has been widened. Similarly, aspirational districts in education in mother tongue in National Education Policy, Udan scheme for making air travel accessible are leading to both inclusion and growth. He also talked of massive inclusion through Har Ghar Jal by providing 6 crore tap water connections. Through the Swamitva scheme, property rights of the most vulnerable sections are being ensured. Already, more than 1 crore property cards have been issued, enabling the beneficiaries to avail finances. Today, India is preparing a roadmap for the coming 25 years, Amrit Kal as we are calling it, with reforms by conviction rather than reforms by compulsion. Earlier, major reforms took place in India only when the earlier governments were left with no other option. The present government considers reforms as a necessary, but there should be a win-win choice in which there is national interest and public interest, the Prime Minister has observed. Prime Minister has on several occasions elaborated his government's approach to reforms, and I quote, "Our policy making is based on the pulse of the people. We listen to more and more people, understand their needs and aspirations. That's why we do not let the policy come under the pressure of populist impulses." Unquote. The Prime Minister's approach of minimum government and maximum governance is yielding great results. The best example of this partnership of private and public sector is in vaccine development for COVID-19. Private players of our country have done a very good job, but behind them stood the full force of the government in the form of a partner in progress. Besides being a partner in progress, the government is standing with full power with the private sector. Now, the extreme models dominated by the private sector or government have become obsolete. The governments at the centre and state are encouraging the private sector as a partner in progress, and we are moving forward in this direction. Well, tourism sector is also expanding in India. The International Yoga Day celebrations at 75 iconic places last year made people aware of many new places of tourism.